Welcome back to Riding Bikes in San Diego. We are moving very quickly right now through Palm Desert and a bunch of streets on here. Frank Sinatra, like we're in a painted bike lane, but then it goes away because there's some sort of turn into a apartment complex, and then it comes back, and this is the way it's going to go for a while. This is the first video I'm making since early June, so it's been a little more than 3 weeks. I've been traveling a whole bunch, and one of the places I traveled to was Palm Desert. So every time I come up here for work, I like to go out for a little ride in the morning, and the pavement is really smooth, but the infrastructure is just as lousy as any place else in the United States, right? We have these lines that start up and go away, and a lot of people with a whole lot of room to drive cars as quickly as they'd like. So this is just meandering around, and I hope that it's mildly entertaining for you. It's just high speed. Really, I wanted to show you a cool path that I come up on in just a few seconds here, and talk to you a little bit about other travels I've been doing, because I did not bring my camera with me when I was traveling. So I have a little bit of phone footage. I put up a couple of shorts about it, but I didn't devote time, mostly because I didn't travel with a camera. I didn't travel with my helmet that I mount the camera on. So off of Frank Sinatra Boulevard here, I do find this wonderful bike lane. It's protected. It's a cycle track, I guess. It goes in both directions. For the life of me, I can't figure out what it's meant to serve, though, because I went through a lot of little commercial areas, I went through a lot of residential areas, and they ain't on this path. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. I decided to explore it for a moment. I think that it might be going to the place I'm trying to get to, which is the Omni Hotel. I'm not balling out, y'all. Like I'm working, and the place I'm working happens to put me up for a couple of nights in this really nice resort spot, which is super cool. I don't get paid a lot to be there, but having a room for a couple of nights at a pretty posh resort is pretty sweet. So I only wish this cycle track went by it, so that it was safer for me to work with it. But I'm taking it in. I'm enjoying just how much room there is here, how versatile this is. But at some point I do realize that I'm going the wrong way, so I take a look at my map and decide I'm going to backtrack, I think. Sure enough, I am going the wrong way, so I backtrack and I get back over to that traffic light, and I figure I'll take the road that I need to get back, but there's no bike lane there, so I'm just going to go on the sidewalk for a second here until I decide to duck through a bunch of parking lots. And while we're watching that, I do want to share with you, I'm going to assume that folks made it this far into the video because they like the channel, and I really appreciate your support. I'm sorry I haven't been around. I am in education. I'm a teacher, so when the summer comes around, my routines and my bike riding changes quite a bit. I went up here to Palm Desert. A few days later, I flew out to England and spent some time in Oxford, which has a sign. It's a cycling city. My kid and I took a cycling tour. We rented a tandem bike on this tour, and it was about 9-10 miles, but it was like 3 hours. It was really wonderful, and there are just bicycles everywhere. I'll figure out how to make a video, but bikes everywhere, which was a real great preparer for going to Amsterdam, which and I feel like every person who loves riding bikes really needs to go to Amsterdam. They're everywhere. They're littered everywhere. I noticed that a Dutch bike, to buy a Dutch bicycle here in the United States, costs about $1,500. If you want to buy a Dutch bike over there used at a used shop over by like the Waterloo Market or whatever, it would cost you €100. I feel like it's almost worth it to book a trip out there, get the bike, and bring it back. Like if you're gonna spend $1,500-1,600, you might as well get a trip in there with it. But it was magical, and I did not ride a bicycle while I was in Amsterdam. And you might be thinking like, wow, Adam, that was kind of stupid. Why did you skip riding a bicycle? And it's because I didn't take the time to figure out the translation of the rental bikes. I didn't want to go to a shop and rent a bike because I didn't want to be on the hook on a timetable. Also, riding bikes there kind of intimidated me. This intimidates me also. I'm cutting through parking lots to avoid drivers right now. But riding a bicycle over in Amsterdam seemed intimidating because there were so many people riding and I didn't know the city. It seems like when you're riding, you should know where you're going. You know, when I ride around San Diego, I know my destination, so I'm on pace. I'm not looking around and wandering the way that I would be on foot. So I decided to take it on foot. But I also decided that I'm going to keep all this stuff in my head, and the next time I go out there, I really have every intention of bringing my Brompton with me, which is the bicycle I'm riding on this particular ride here, and taking full advantage of a bicycle in the city. I stayed mostly in the city center. I did get over to I took the train to Ulrich, and I'm not quite sure the pronunciation. Please let me know in the comments. And I didn't get too far outside of that city center either. Once again, if I would have had a bicycle, I would have been able to just crush it. But it's really strange going from an environment like this in Palm Desert, which, I mean, this is a new city, right? Like, nothing here is, I don't think anything's older than like 50 or 60 years old. I'm sure that some things are, but this place really has been built up in like the last 50 years, and they built it around the automobile. So it's strange to be here and then go to cities that were built in like the 1200s and the 1400s, and look at what they've been able to do there, and how there's a certain, you know, integrity to moving people rather than moving cars. So it was really wonderful. It was actually the complete opposite of being in this place. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you about it. I wanted to bring you here to Palm Desert, but I also wanted to talk to you a bit about why I have not been around on the channel. And I appreciate you coming with me. And, you know, I'm going to try to get back into the swing of posting more regularly. So, you know, let's spend our time driving less and riding a bike. Thanks.